Welcome to Courtotberfest Weekly, a place for chill chat about entertainment. My name's Jonathan Courtot. Since this is the first episode, I want to start off with a little bit of a mission statement on what I'd like to actually do here. There's a lot of channels on YouTube that talk about entertainment, movies, television, and whatnot. And a lot of those channels focus in on the clickbait and the rage porn. And a lot of those channels I do really like, and they ask, I think, important questions that we should be talking about. But right here, that's kind of not what I want to do. The last 3 years, basically since the pandemic started, it's, I think, been difficult for a lot of people. I know, it has for me. You've had lockdowns. I moved 2 different times. You've got elections and a media that really, really thrives on making sure we're at each other's throats as often as possible. So I don't really want to contribute to that. That's not really what I want to do. I want to talk about entertainment. I want to talk about movies. I want to talk about television and the occasional book. That's going to be a little bit more rare. I read at a snail's pace, so it takes me a while to get through things. But there will be an occasional book now and then. But movies are great, and one of the biggest joys that I miss from living in California, and of course, since moving, I'm sort of in a different spot than a lot of my friends, and we can't get together and watch movies and talk about them the way that we used to, and that is the joy of movies, is sharing them with other people and having a conversation about it, and not even just people you know. One things I really miss is the big crowded theaters. If you rewind the clock back to 2018, I believe Avengers: Infinity War was 2018. But if you put yourself in that moment, packed theater opening weekend, and you have all these great moments in the film, and the audience, you're in it together and experiencing it together, and I miss that, and I really hope that comes back. And specifically that one, the specific moment I keep thinking of is when, sort of like end of the movie, the big battle, the Bifrost comes down, Thor shows up, bring me Thanos! And everyone cheers, and the crowd goes wild, and you're having a great time together. And I really miss that. So that's the type of thing I want to have an ominous conversation, but within the context of the joy of watching entertainment in both its good and its bad forms, because there is a joy in bad movies. Just for example, my friends would often get together, throw on Batman and Robin, and poke fun of it the whole way through. So there is a joy in bad movies as well, and pulling them apart and all that jazz. The other thing that I will mention going ahead, and this is not going to be a politics channel, but I do want to mention that I come at things from a conservative perspective. That's the perspective you're getting. So, and I'm a little about me, born and raised in New England. I went to college upstate New York at one of the most liberal colleges in the country, and then spent 11 years in California, neon blue. So that's sort of, I'm sort of center-right libertarian. And I mention that only because, unfortunately, politics is in everything now, and it's hard to avoid. And there's a lot of, one of the things we all complain about a lot is wokeness in entertainment. So that's gonna inevitably come up. I wish it didn't, because I don't want to. That's not a thing that I want to cover. I just want to talk about story. But and from that, maybe at some point I'll talk about conservatism a little more. But I don't want that to be the focus. I'm not going to be talking about whatever nonsense is going on in DC. I'm going to be talking about movies. And I do, from a politics perspective, most of my friends are liberal, and I do want to talk to the good-hearted liberal and see if maybe, in hearing me talk about film, they maybe can understand my perspective a little more. I don't even necessarily need to want to convert you to convert you to conservatism, but I do want you to understand. And having so many liberal friends, I understand where they're coming. I don't agree with their policies, but I understand where they're coming from, and that it comes from a good-hearted place. I don't think your average Democrat understands your average Republican in that way, and that's maybe if you're on the left and you're watching this, maybe you can get a little bit of insight into what your average conservative, which is what I consider myself. Maybe you can get a little insight into where I'm coming from. So with that, all that being said, there's a couple big trailers that came out in the last couple of weeks that I want to break down and talk about. They're both sort of nostalgic properties that I grew up on, and let's watch some of these trailers, and let's see what are they going to be worth seeing. So let's see the first one. Okay, so I want to get the heavier trailer out of the way first, and that's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. I grew up on this property from when I was a very small kid. There's a picture of me somewhere between 8 to 10 as Indiana Jones in my dad's leather jacket, the hat, and we made a little golden idol that went to the, it must have been 4th or 5th grade, because I remember going to the little middle school dance, as Indiana Jones. So that the character means a great deal to me, and obviously we took it on the chin with Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. But we're getting another one, and the trailer dropped about a little over a week or so ago. And this trailer has my inner child and my cynical adult just absolutely at war with each other. So there are two ways you got to look at this trailer. Two prongs. Prong number one, looking at it as a trailer. Prong number two, looking at the current rumors about the plot and the current state of film, the current state of content that we usually get in Hollywood movies. As a trailer, I think this is a brilliantly cut trailer. Trailer editors are some of the most talented people out there. Their job is to make you want to come see the movie. So even if you're working with trash, they got to make it sound appealing. And a lot of times they know what the movie should be, more so than even the filmmakers themselves know. I remember, if you remember the trailer from The Foreigner, that was with Jackie Chan and Pierce Brosnan. It was really sold as sort of Taken with Jackie Chan. And that's sort of what you go in expecting. And the movie itself, it's not a bad movie, but it is more Pierce Brosnan and Irish politics than Jackie Chan. But the trailer editor knew that they needed to sell it as Taken with Jackie Chan, because we all love, Jackie Chan, and getting a new Jackie Chan action movie would be a beautiful thing. But I digress. We don't know what the quality of Dial of Destiny is yet, but I do think this sells it very well. So I'd like to go through the trailer, and we're going to break it down, and I'll sort of tell you what the things I like about it, and then we'll get into the rumors and why I'm very skeptical. And I'm afraid for this movie. Let's just say that. So let's take a look at this trailer here.
I miss the desert.
Starts off with some good Spielbergian action.
I miss the sea.
This shot I like, though it's kind of creepy.
And I miss waking up every morning.
Only.
Wondering what wonderful adventure the
I
new
love
day
the
will
train.
bring to
I
us.
love the shot on the top of the train.
Those days have come and gone.
Perhaps not.
And Saul is back, which is awesome. I'm going to pause it right here. I think you can break this trailer down into 3 parts. And this first chunk is doing a very important thing in regards to where we're at as an audience. It's really, I mean, the audience essentially can put themselves in the dialogue Sala is delivering. It's very, you're looking back, and and again, particularly the last 3 years have been really depressing and terrible. And we're yearning for, this is why Top Gun Maverick did so well. We want the classic hero. We want the adventures of old, the good times that we used to have. And I remember I had, my freshman year of college, I had a big Raiders of the Lost Ark poster on my wall, and it said "The Return of the Great Adventure," and that's what we're yearning for. Is that one last time with this character that we love, and this does a very good job of putting you there and saying, I miss what was. Can we get a little bit of that back again? Very, very good open. For me, a very good open as a fan.
I don't believe in magic, but a few times in my life.
Now, I gotta say, the digital de-aging on this shot, and mind you, it's a different thing when you only get a couple seconds of shot versus prolonged digital de-aging. This is the best I think we've seen it ever. That being said, I think it's creepy. I wish it would go away. I wish we'd stop doing it, because the more computers we add to live action film, the less humanity we get out of it. So I'm not a fan. And then there's ethical concerns. I think Rogue One opened up a huge ethical concern with bringing back Peter Cushing, who has been dead a long time. That's not a performance from an actor. Peter Cushing was an individual actor who made choices as an artist in the films that he made, and a digital facsimile is not that. That's all it is a facsimile. So I really don't like that we're doing it. I think it's a Pandora's box that we can't close, unfortunately. But I will give this is the best looking that it's ever been.
I've seen things I can't explain. And I've come to believe it's not so much what you believe. It's how hard you believe it.
So I like that second third. I really like, because it's really, we all know that. I mean, Harrison Ford is 80. This is his last. There's not another Indiana Jones movie with Harrison Ford after that. I mean, this is actually a stretch. We thought it was a stretch when he was playing Indy at 60 something in Crystal Skull, and now I don't know if he's exactly 80, but he's either 80 or he's right. He's on that birthday, so there's only so much he can do. But sort of that dialogue of looking back at it's sort of getting sort of a summation of his experience as an archaeologist. And we've seen 4 of those adventures, and we kind of know what he's talking about. And he has his, he has this core belief that, that there's no magic, but he's seen enough to doubt that. And there very well could be something more, because he's seen things he can't explain. And I kind of like that as sort of a summation of his career. And then we got the hat. And this is punching Nazis, which is great. I love that. I feel like Toby Jones seems like someone who should be in an Indiana Jones movie. That might just be because he was in First Avenger. But love that he's here. Got some whip action. The theme. Bunch of Indiana Jones style action. I think it's a good
Godfather related.
Get back.
The blocking on the blocking on the button is a little bit silly, grand scheme of things, but it's a good trailer. If you were to play that trailer for me 10 years ago, I would be absolutely over the moon about it. And the part of me that is still a child really loves what I'm seeing here. The problem comes with the internet rumors. Now, to be clear, I'm not a big fan of anonymous sources. I think if you're going to make an accusation, you should put your face to it. And if you're somebody who's saying you're using anonymous sources, there's no, why should I believe you're not making this up full sail in order to get clicks? That's an anonymous source is not evidence. But as things stand right now, I gotta say, culturally, if I was a betting man, I'd bet on the rumors. And let's go through them first, and I can tell you why I don't like them. And also, to be clear, and I'll talk about this a little bit more after we cover the rumors, Mangold is James Mangold, who's directing, who's a phenomenal director. Ford v. Ferrari, Logan, 310 to Yuma, Walk the Line. Great lineup of films. He's on Twitter saying up, down, left, and right that these rumors are not true. So someone is lying. One of these parties is lying, and we're not going to find out until June next year. But anywho, rumor number one, that they're going to be using time travel somehow to go back to 1930-something and have an adventure with young Indiana Jones. I don't like this because time travel is a tenet of science fiction. And as we learned from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, science fiction and Indiana Jones don't really mix. What Indiana Jones deals with is religious mythology and mysticism, and that's sort of what feels right for him. When you start mixing in sci-fi, it feels off. It doesn't fit with that 1940s serial adventure that the original Raiders of the Lost Ark was inspired from. So if that rumor number one turns out to be true, it means they learned nothing from Kingdom of the Crystal Skull at all, which would track for Hollywood because they often don't learn lessons or they learn the wrong lessons. The other rumor, and this is the I'm gonna get myself into trouble territory, is that the ending will be, so basically it will be, you'll have old Indy, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and young Indy, and that somehow young Indy will die saving Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and old Indy will fade away, and then she'll take the hat and go be the Indiana Jones character. There's a lot of reasons that I don't like this. The big primary one is I don't want to see Indiana Jones die. I really don't. This is a guy I grew up idolizing as a kid. He's one of the great American characters of all time, and he shouldn't be killed off. He should get to ride away in the sunset, and live his life, which really goes to show that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull was a movie that honestly shouldn't have been made. Last Crusade really was the ending. Indiana Jones rode off into the sunset with his dad. And I want something similar to that. I don't need to see Indiana Jones die. It's, I think, disrespectful to him. And that's where we're seeing a lot of male characters be disparaged, disrespected, and destroyed in film today to elevate. And I'm a big fan of female characters. When you complain about woke entertainment, it's like, oh, you just don't like women. It's like, no, there's plenty that I love. There's the sort of the classics example of one of my other favorite movies, Aliens, Ellen Ripley. So women can carry an action movie. I've never believed that women can't carry action movies. The problem is not elevating women. The problem is how Hollywood and these movies are treating men. And there is a pattern of behavior right now of taking legendary male characters and destroying them. You had Luke Skywalker turned into a jackass hermit. Han Solo turned into a deadbeat dad. John Connor in the Terminator franchise, Terminator Dark Fate. It opens, he gets shot right off the bat, shot dead to pave way for the female leader of the Resistance. James Bond blown to smithereens, which was really painful for me personally because James Bond is my favorite franchise of all time, hands down. And they blew him up. It's because we have no respect for men, and I believe it seems like Indiana Jones is the next on the chopping block, and that's where there's the Phoebe Waller-Bridge element, where there's only two places that I know her from. To full disclosure, I know her as Social Justice Warrior Bot 5000 from the Solo Star Wars story film, and as one of the writers on No Time to Die, where they killed James Bond. So yeah, I've got trust issues there. Not to mention you've got the shot in the trailer of what's I would assume is the Dial of Destiny, and it looks an awfully lot like a clock. So that would speak to the time travel element. So I'm just annoyed. I'm annoyed at the continued disparaging of men in film. I think it's not good for it's, and I mean, I think people would ask, why do you care? And it's like, why wouldn't I care? You're taking the things I love and you're throwing them away. And that's the thing I'm really sick of seeing. And the thing is, we have a female version of Indiana Jones that we could be using. Her name is Lara Croft, and everybody loves her. Why don't we just take some time to write a solid Tomb Raider movie? There's a ton of people who really would love a solid Tomb Raider movie. Do that, and you've got your female Indiana Jones. Why would you have to kill actual Indiana Jones? It's stupid. Anywho, so those are the rumors. I think they're both terrible, and that would be, I think, the ultimate wokeification of a property. And I hope it's not true. And Mangold is saying it's not true. Again, he's out there. He's saying it's not. And this speaks to sort of the trust issues that we as an audience have between us and Hollywood. Again, pattern of behavior. I don't trust you to respect the male characters. That being said, I like James Mangold, so I hope he's telling the truth. Because if he's not telling the truth, that will be the entertainment lie of the century, and it'll go down like bat nipples for Joel Schumacher. Joel Schumacher actually has quite a number of good movies under his belt, but the thing people will remember is that he put nipples on the bat suit. If James Mangold is lying about this, he'll be the guy who killed Indiana Jones in woke fashion. And I think audiences will be hard-pressed to forgive him for that. So I hope he's telling the truth. I really want this to be good. My soul needs a good Indiana Jones movie. So the trailer is excellent. I hope the internet is wrong. I'm rooting for the internet to be wrong. If I was to place Vegas money on it, I would bet the internet is probably right. Apparently the rumors, the leaked plot details of the She-Hulk finale all turned out to be true. So betting odds, I'd say the rumors are probably right. I hope they're wrong. I really do. I'm rooting it for it to be good because I think we need this. We need that good. We need the return of the great adventure. So we'll see. I haven't decided if I'm going opening weekend or not. Or whether I want to see if the rumors are true and then go see it. But I'm rooting for a good movie. I want it to be good. I'm not rooting against it. But hopefully we turn out to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. All right, moving on to the next trailer. So the next trailer I want to talk about is the Super Mario Brothers trailer. Full disclosure, it's been a while since I've gamed, but I came up on the Nintendo 64 era, and Mario 64, Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, those were all huge for me growing up. And then going way back, Super Nintendo, Super Mario World was a big thing for me, and it's another nostalgic property that I keep going back to Halloween costume. Possibly my first. It was either my first or second Halloween costume was when I was like 1 or 2 was Super Mario, and there's a picture somewhere of me and my grandfather, and he's got me, and I'm in the little Super Mario outfit. So another character that means a great deal to me, and I have a lot of nostalgic love for. And we're getting a Mario movie, in which, I mean, who thought we'd ever get that after the disaster that was that John Leguizamo, Bob Hoskins. I mean, that's got to be, it's a cult, like that one has got a cult following at this point because it's so wacky and unbelievably stupid. But after that, I mean, I don't think we ever thought we'd get a Mario movie again, and now we've got one. And there's complaints among fans for sure, which as we go through the trailer, I will address. And I'm going to push, like, on this one, Indiana Jones. I'm leaning towards the sort of the angry fans are probably correct. This one, I'm going to push back a little bit on the complaint on it. But let's take a look at this trailer. Right.
Let's go.
Oh, you got your Smash Brothers. I mean, come on. If you grew up on Smash Brothers at all, I mean, that's great. I mean, Donkey Kong was a character I'd play all the time, and I mean, let me know in the comments if you do stuff like this. But he had this move. And as far as I remember, it was down red. Let me know if my memory is serving me correctly. But he'd like whack the ground, and then other characters had a harder time getting at you, because if you just stood there and do this, and I did that all the damn time, and it was a party game. That's as kids, like we came up and, you know, we'd get together and we played Smash Brothers, and screw Kirby. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Not sure if you know who I am, but I'm about to rule the world.
Wow, yay.
But there's one problem. There's a human, has a mustache, just like you.
Do you think I know every human being with a mustache wearing an identical outfit with a hat with the letter of his first name on it?
Okay, so I'm gonna pause right there, and this is where I'm gonna talk about sort of the issues that fans are having. It's mainly that Chris Pratt's voice, you know, he doesn't sound like Mario. He's getting a lot of jazz for that, and I'd say right there, I mean, Luigi sounds like Charlie Day. I mean, let's be real. So I think Chris Pratt is in a tough spot because Mario does have a very, very iconic voice. It's me, Mario. It's everyone knows what Mario sounds like, and the complaint, as I'm reading it, is that Mario just sounds like Chris Pratt. The problem is, if you think back to that classic voice, and again, it's been a while since I've played games, but the Mario voice, it's all catchphrases. It's me, Mario. Let's go. Okie dokie. Those aren't emotive lines, and in a feature film, you actually have to be able to deliver full sentences and bring emotion to it. And I think you'd be really hard pressed to exactly mimic that voice and bring that element to a feature film. And you need it for a feature film. So I would give the guy a break. on it. In the beginning of the trail, he's got the trailer. He's got the little "Let's go." So he's he's clearly thinking about it. He's got that on mind. But it's not a thing that you'd be able to sustain for an entire film. So my inclination is give the man a break. Let's see what the actual performance is in the context of the film. The guy's he has to emote. He needs to be able to do that. And I don't know that it's possible to do that if you're just doing a one-to-one imitation of the classic Mario voice. So I'm gonna, and the other cast does not have that hurdle to climb. As far as I know, the other Mario characters, I mean, they don't have voices that I'm aware of right off the bat to my head. So let's give Chris Pratt a break there and see how the performance is.
Bowser is coming. Together, we are going to stop that monster.
I mean, it looks like a Nintendo game.
Look at us. We're adorable.
And I gotta say, like, probably Illumination there is creating more merchandising gold right there. We're looking at Minions Part 2, I think, with the little mushroom people. That's just too cute.
Oh, I got this. No problem.
And all the pitfalls of playing a video game.
Our big adventure begins now! Ah! Get it off, get it off, get it off!
You got the raccoon suit.
There's a huge universe out there.
Whoa!
Yoshi.
They're all counting on us. No pressure.
And Mario Kart. How many friendships ended because of Mario Kart? This trailer just makes me happy. Yeah, I think it looks great. I will be there. I will be there Thursday or Friday night. I think it looks like a good classic Hero's Journey film. It looks like the Nintendo games I remember. A variety of them. You've got, Super Mario World. You've got Mario Kart. You've got Super Smash Brothers. You got the raccoon suit from going all the way back to Super Mario 3 from original Nintendo. I think it looks really good. So I will be there. My one question, again, sort of conservative perspective thing, I'm interested to see if they let him save the princess at the end of the movie, because we're in this weird world where a man saving a woman is considered a no-no. So my guess is he's either going to have to save a bunch of people or it'll just be Luigi, because you can't depict a woman needing to be saved. So that which, what if is. Whatever, I've got enough. I've got as long as she's not haranguing him for being a dude, which I don't think they will. Illumination Entertainment, all of their work that I've seen has been pretty good, and I don't foresee them being obnoxious about it. I think it will not exactly be Mario saves princess, but I think it looks good. I have a lot of faith. I have faith in Illumination Entertainment to make good animated content. I've enjoyed everything they've put out, so I'm very bullish on it. I'll be there opening night. It looks very good, and it's a great trailer. So yeah, definitely, I'm very pro Super Mario Brothers movie. I think this is going to be a good time. All right, so I've got a quick movie review before we wrap this up, and there we go. So we're going to end this week's episode with a quick review of a Christmas movie that I saw last weekend, Violent Night from Universal, and it advertised itself as Die Hard with Santa Claus, and it delivered on its premise. It is Die Hard with Santa Claus. Literally, the plot is basically exactly Die Hard. Terrorists looking for money, and Santa Claus happens to be there while it's going down, and he takes them out one at a time. And it's, if you've seen Die Hard, you've seen this movie. Only this one has Christmas puns in it, like a lot of them. And it's good. It's a really, really fun movie. They clearly were not taking themselves too seriously when they made it, which is good. And they all seem to be having a good time, and as a result, I had a good time in the theater. And I think the reason this movie works is David Harbour. He's a very good, cynical, jaded Santa Claus. It does have a nice through line of we're living in a very vacuous, materialistic time, and he's a Santa Claus that has been really kicked in the teeth with that, and he's kind of lost his faith. And over the course of this movie, and with the help of this young child, he sort of gets his faith back. And the best scenes in the movie are the interplay between basically this little girl is the Al Powell to Santa's John McClane, and their back and forth is just delightful. And it turns out, I guess, apparently David Harbour is just really good at acting across from children, if between this and Stranger Things, and that element brings this heart to this really R-rated premise that's going on around it, and it makes it very, very watchable. And Leguizamo is hamming it up hardcore as the villain, and it's just a good time. It gives you what you're looking for. You're looking for silly nonsense. You're looking of the Die Hard on a Thing genre, and it does that. And I had a good time. I highly recommend it. Obviously, it's not for kids. There's also a little Home Alone mixed in there, which was very nice. It's worth your time if you can get out to see it. I would go, and very, very worth it. So that'll wrap us up for this week. Thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you tune in again. I'm thinking next episode I want to do a breakdown of Dune the book versus Dune the Villeneuve movie. I've got some stuff to say about that. So I will see you next week.